Sorry to rock my hair well. No? You, uh,
Front and the back.
not what I want. Markley. What's going on with you? So we will just fully type it in because it's not from anything else. What's going on with it? What? Good morning. Aha! Okay. See, I don't have to be mean or rude. I just get to get to God and let God take care of it. So, that's off my back. Keto tonight is not live yet, so we're going to have to do it just a hair different than what I wanted to do. That's okay. He had his legs set up, or his, yeah. There's a couple that actually,
No, I'm on mom's salad. I was just trying to make it to where she didn't feel sick, but that's just unbelievably rude. What's up for you? I'm gonna take you. I'll be
whoa.
somehow I got honey mustard in my hair last night.
Oh, what's her heart? Okay. I have a question for you. What in the heck colleges and schools? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. I was raising five. Just a minute. Monko is currently and of course she needs to be free. Yeah. What? Like that?
Starting on side no more because you sat up.
Yeah. He is.
Why does that seem brighter?
Well, to be fair, sometimes I do have issues sometimes with being on time.
Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. Not all of them. Sometimes.
I know not all the time, but most of the time.
Okay.
You know it too.
What my practice is, I'm not doing that. Sit sad and comfy. Comfy. And it's just not good until I think always a little bit. So it is what it is. That's what I'm doing. Great idea. So we are going to really Monko, blind react. You said what? Ready?
Respectful liberal questioned Charlie Kirk's political beliefs, he schooled. When this shockingly respectful liberal questioned Charlie Kirk's political beliefs, he schooled her instantly. But what she said in response caught him completely off guard.
Would you say that you're very religious?
I am religious, however, every one of my political positions is defensible from a non-religious perspective.
So you're not trying to illegalize based on the Bible?
Well, no, not based on the Bible. I want to make it illegal because it is the only logical step while we apply the standard we already have in this country to unborn life. So we have laws,
Yes.
Therefore laws should apply to unborn life as it does to born life.
So, great. That's all I needed to know, that you weren't trying to instate laws based on Christian beliefs, because I would not be able to support anything that was so blatantly unconstitutional.
I could tell you probably have a negative impression of Christianity, maybe. I hope one day we can earn back your support to making Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior. I'm sorry if the church has failed you in that way, because I do have strong religious convictions and beliefs, and there is a God who made you and loves you, and he sent his son to die for you.
Her name is Mom.
When this shockingly respectful liberal questioned
No, his name is God Christ. God created you. He created all of us equally. Yeah.
Her makeup though, oh my god.
Oh, that's your take on it. That's your take on it. What's her makeup?
It was driving me insane. It was too pronounced. It didn't match her clothes, it didn't match her hair, it didn't match her eyes. None of that. It's just like all too dark and layered. And the eyeshadow, oh my gosh, the eyeshadow, no! Don't like players if you're gonna wear dark makeup. Not freaking Hi.
Welcome in, dear.
That's you! Oh my god! Her makeup! Oh my gosh, that's gonna bug me!
That is so. They got it. It's so freaking. It's not that she didn't even know who God was.
She's gonna figure out who he is eventually.
But I love you, baby girl. What? What? Yeah. Josh, I need to stay very professional. Though I do not just.
Yeah.
I know I mean. So you should tell your friend, don't be a chicken shit. Come join our party. Okay, so we are going to be during live. We will not be reading the comics as we typically do. No, she was a bad one.
One of Anxiety's friends.
I need it to tell me when it goes live. Like, notify me. Let me know.
Some live, I know, because it's bored. That's funny.
So come kick my ass. It wouldn't be so fun.
You're not making me
So apparently, if
When this shocking
Audio. I am kind of
I could even do model makeup right now and it'd make her look good. She always looks good. No, she don't look good, she looks beautiful. Anyway.
okay.
One of the times when I did her makeup, it was the first time she actually allowed me to do her makeup. I actually made her look younger somehow. Kinda, sorta. Kinda, sorta. I was in middle school. I was in middle school at the time. Yeah, and we were waiting for Yonder's volleyball practice to get done and my basketball practice to start. So while we were waiting, I was doing all this makeup. Yeah, I played basketball and we went to state. Anxiety said he done it for me today. So I'm not going to Tuesday. I kept checking, but
Yeah, I have been. Okay, so here we go. Here's another one by Charlie Kirk. By the way, I do agree a lot with what Charlie Kirk says, so that is why we are featuring him a little bit in our schooling. So.
Surprised Charlie Kirk when he got up to the mic and introduced himself. But when he revealed a shocking truth that many Americans are taking for granted, the whole crowd cheered for him.
I'm just got out of the Army. I served 11 years.
Thank you for your service.
Listen, I just came for a little motivation, all right, guys? You guys wake up every day with freedom, you know what I mean? You get to take a deep breath. You get to go get a coffee. You get to go eat breakfast, you know what I mean? You guys don't have to worry about anything. Let me tell you guys something. I wasn't afforded those luxuries. I was born into poverty. I was born into substance abuse. I don't know what it is to have parents. My only way out was to join the military at the age of 17 years old. I am now 30 years old. I just got out of the military January 30th this year, and I want to let you guys know freedom is not free, so enjoy what you're given, okay? Honestly. It's a privilege to be here. Enjoy it. Don't complain, guys. Don't complain, because I'm telling you right now, there's soldiers, there's Marines, there's Coast Guards, there's Guardians, Airmen. They're all waking up at the ass crack of dawn to provide for you guys. I'm telling you guys, and they're ready to go at a moment's notice. I lost a brother of mine in 2017, October 4th, Sergeant LaDavid T. Johnson, in Niger, Africa, with a Special Operations Battalion. You can look him up. But guys, honestly, people are giving their lives on the line for all of you, okay? Be appreciative, okay? That's all I gotta say.
God bless you, man. What happened?
This young man surprised Charlie Kirk when he
That, okay. And it's true, too. It is so fucking true. People don't realize that freedom. Like, oh, no, private. Check it out. What do I need to check it? No, hold on. But you'll do that in between. Because there's some stuff that y'all are not allowed. So delete live, delete live, which is part of civics, is. You want me to do this video?
Cop has the man down on the ground and he's given up. The cop just decides to drop. As the cop has the man down on the ground and he's given up, the cop just decides to drop an elbow into his face, just one more, for good measure.
Hey, we see you! Black.
Doesn't matter what race that cop is. Police brutality is police brutality.
You're being recorded.
We got you on camera, you fucker!
He just pops him in the face with an elbow for no reason.
Stop it! Jesus Christ! Barely. See on the news channel, you idiots!
You can't have a man down and then go from the north to the south and elbow him in the head. These things are illegal in the UFC for a reason, because they hurt people and they kill people.
You're a fucking gripback! Be a piece of shit, but he has fucking rights. That's for you! Shouldn't be a you can't control anger.
Let it play twice. First, I want you to watch the abusive black cop who does the beating. Then I want you to watch the woman cop and how absolutely useless she is. As the cop has the man down on the ground and he's given up, the cop just decides to drop an elbow into his face, just one more, for good measure.
Hey, we see you!
This is why I teach my children your rights.
Some information said Marty is on 5-minute countdown.
Say. It's not telling me he's live. There we go.
So the Rainbow Church aren't exactly hiding. That's true. The word.
Oh, you get to. Starting the live. I will as soon as it starts. But in the meantime, Yeah, right. Yeah, right now my thing is going back and forth. Because my time is going a little bit back and forth because of the English class.
You look at the one with the mouth on.
This one? Yeah.
Get it on.
I think we should stay down a little. I was the first one to. What? That's not right. Oh wow! I was the first one to repost for Let's Go. Nice. That's up there. I got first really good lessons. Hey, 10 seconds. Holy crap, that was fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Yeah. I know. I already know. You don't have to tell me, but I am late. Very. So this is going to be a short show. And I even have the wrong thumbnail up there. How about that? It's been a morning. Let's just put it that way. Here, let's fix this because that's wrong. Dummy. And I'm talking to myself. Yes, I am. There. How's that? Is that better? Hello. Welcome to Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel on this Tuesday, the 9th of September, 2025. So it's going to be a short show. I got to go through topics quick. The shirt, though, today, I got to show you the shirt. This is the Billy Goat. The Billy Goat, okay? The Billy Goat is the restaurant in Chicago that John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd based the cheeseburger, no Pepsi Coke skit on Saturday Night Live. That's the original. We went there. Well, he moved the restaurant, but yeah. The Billy Goat Inn? I think so. No, it's, well, whatever it's called. It's the Billy Goat something. Billy Goat Bar and Grill. I don't know what it is, but that's the cheeseburger guy that they based that Saturday Night Live skit. So it's a funny thing. Home of the Billy Goat curse as well. Oh, yes, the Billy Goat curse from the Chicago Cubs, right? That's it. So, yes, that's right. You know Chicago. So anyway, so that's what this is from. And then today's cup coffee is brought to you by the Sunnyside Cafe in Black River Falls, Wisconsin. Guys, that's where I stopped for breakfast on my drive to Chicago. And I'm like, hey, sell those cups? They said, yes. I said, well, there we go. All right, so let's just get to the show. We'll say hi to everybody and get it going. First in the chat today, Avocats Diablo gets the bell. Also, good morning, Louie. Good morning, Mike Savage, Mark, Mrz-Wild-Wolf. I got your message. We'll talk soon. Selected boys in the house early because I'm late. Also, good morning, Blue-Eyed Scream, Rick Ashbringer. Who else? Cynic Magic, what up? And Green Badger Outdoors, and my other favorite Canadian, Unacceptable Views, are all in the house. Yes, it's going to be a truncated show. 13 people, 6 likes. That's not. Let's get it up there. And Monko. Monko. Who? Monko. What? What is Monko? I think Ranting Monkey's still streaming too, isn't he? I'm pretty sure. Let's find out if Ranting Monkey's still streaming. Let's just go over there. Oh, and Midnight. Yes, hi Midnight. You meant Midnight, unless they're both the same, one and the same. I only know Midnight as Midnight. And yes, looks like, oh no, Monk's done. So there you go. Oh, wow, what is that? What the hell is that? Okay, anyway. All right, so Monkey's done. The new Y2K, what's going on in 2038? I guess we'll have to find out what that is later. I'll listen to Monkey while I'm working later. Anyway, now he just had his stream. Okay, good. All right, which doesn't matter. I mean, if he's streaming, he's streaming. So, let's get into the show. Today, the daily holiday, because I pick holiday every day. And this is a very misunderstood holiday. Okay, a very misunderstood holiday. It's a very misunderstood, excuse me, a very misunderstood food item. Happy National Wiener Schnitzel Day, which is, Wiener Schnitzel is not any type of wiener, though. It's actually, it's like, basically it's a giant pork tenderloin of the German variety. Now, I don't know if there's special spices or something to go on them. There's a German restaurant in New Ulm, Minnesota we went to, and I ordered Wiener Schnitzel, and my God, it was like the size of a plate. It was delicious, but it's basically just, you flatten out some pork and you bread it and you throw in some grease, and it comes out like a big old pork tenderloin. So it's very, very tasty. It's at least that place in New Ulm, Minnesota, because that was accompanied by some authentic warm German potato salad, and what else did it have? Maybe some coleslaw or something. But it was delicious. And but it is not a wiener. A Wiener Schnitzel is not a wiener. So the Germans are very deceptive, and there you go. So there you go. Happy National Wiener Schnitzel Day. Other holidays happening today. It's Teddy Bear Day, When Pigs Fly Day, Wonderful Weirdos Day. There's a lot of those. International Sudoku Day. Anyone here do Sudoku? I get annoyed with it every time I do it. I can't stand it. Anyway, Care Bears Share Your Care Day. That's something. National Antholog Day. Now, Antholog, that's actually a kind of an appetizer kind of thing, where you do peanut butter and you put it in the crevice of a piece of celery, and then you put raisins on top of it. That's what Antholog are. Celery, peanut butter, and raisins. Perfect treat for kids and adults alike. I've never done the raisin parts of that, but I've done the peanut butter on celery, which is can be tasty. All right. Also, of course, National Wiener Schnitzel Day, we already said, it's still Petru Pashka. Now, I still don't know what it is, but they keep showing me these little cone triangles of rice, or rice pyramids, which it would be very difficult to make if you did it one piece of rice at a time. I don't understand it. And then International Box Wine Day for all you wine moms. So there you go. Happy International Box Wine Day. Moving on to celebrity birthday. There's only one important one today, and that is the great actor, very almost Shakespearean, Adam Sandler's birthday today. Yeah, happy birthday, Adam Sandler. He makes the dumbest movies on the planet, and yet I love every single one of them. I'm just a fan. I don't know why. His sense of humor is it's developed over the year, but also he has a couple movies where he did some serious acting too that I thought were maybe some of his best work. I thought 50 First Dates was cute. And then the one where he's the jeweler, it's a Netflix movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it was kind of dirty, man. It was kind of dirty, not dirty like in sexual. I mean, but kind of a gritty. That's a better word. It was gritty, and I can't think of the name of the movie, but it was pretty good. All right, happy birthday, Andy Sandler. Moving on, I'm gonna go through these quick today. Charlotte is still trending because of this woman who got murdered in Charlotte, and now, you know, the way I do things here, I'm getting the trending topics as they happen. So a lot of times I talk about things before a lot of the news outlets, you know, start commenting on them. And there's a lot of people just catching on to the story. And it's funny, the media, you know, I showed you that one story in Axios yesterday where it was a Republican pounce story. It wasn't about the actual, you know, crime, but more about people reacting to the crime. So again, yesterday I went on a rant. I can't even pull it up because I can't pull up my own video of my show yesterday because I wanted to do my rant as a separate video, and I didn't get to do it. But so some people catching on now. Yeah, well, this was a couple days ago. Piers Morgan, why the disgusting, senseless, unprovoked murder of a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee, Irina Zarutska, by a man named Vicarious Brown on a train in Charlotte is not getting more media attention. Well, maybe because it happened 2 weeks ago, and everyone's late to the party. Someone here says, I'm begging you, if you're outraged by the gruesome murder of a beautiful young woman by a deranged maniac on a Charlotte public transport, they'd be outraged too by a woman and her baby slaughtered while asleep in their beds in Kyiv by another maniac held in Belgium. Kidding. So she wants to talk about a Russian missile attack. And yeah, that war needs to end too. So anyway, people are still talking about the judge. Her name is still trending. The legacy media became master of double standards. Look how they treated Daniel Perry, a hero who saved lives, versus Irina Zarutska, an innocent soul murdered by a violent career criminal. Which, yeah, that made quite. I was in the Daniel Penny story got covered to death. And then Ukrainian, because she was Ukrainian, is trending. But in Breitbart today, they highlighted the fact that Axios upset that MAGA exposed Charlotte train stabbing to the public, and highlighted the same article that we talked about yesterday. In PJ Media, and then just a side note, so that's, I'm going to talk about that, but a side note regarding people getting upset about things that happen like that. So remember the hands up, don't shoot guy from the Michael Brown story, the guy who basically lied to the media and said that Michael Brown had his hands up and saying hands up, or his hands were up, and he said don't shoot. Dorian Johnson, one of Brown's friends, the man who helped ignite one of the most destructive hoaxes in modern American history, was gunned down on Sunday morning. Just a short walk from where his notorious lie was born. Johnson was a sidekick of Michael Brown on that fateful day in Ferguson, Missouri, back in 2014. Johnson stepped into the spotlight with a tale destined to tear the country apart. His story of Brown throwing up his hands and crying, "Don't shoot," reverberated across the media landscape, sparking riots, police assassinations, and lit a fuse for the radical defund the police movement. Black Lives Matter used the tragedy to promote the narrative of systemic problems while in policing, especially in minority neighborhoods. And it promoted the idea that social programs could better use the billions of dollars in government spent on law enforcement. Ferguson became impetus for the notion of police funding, not criminal behavior, was the real problem. This narrative would grow into a full-blown movement, driving a wedge between public safety and leftist ideology. And it was based on a lie. Johnson insisted that Wilson struck first, falsely painting Brown as an innocent victim of police brutality. The media swallowed it whole, and America burned. Night after night, violence erupted in cities, with agitators chanting slogans born from Johnson's fabrication. Oh, I messed that up too. Okay, let me fix that. Thank you, Avocados Diabli. First donation of the day. Saying, please tell me he was shot with his hands, oh God, with his hands up. Wow. Yeah, no, I'm not 100% sure of that. Let me fix the this. So I'm gonna redo this just so you can hear the proper notification. And thank you, Avocados Diabli, for sponsoring the show. Oh, what happened there? There we go. There, that's what it should have sounded like. Thank you, Avocados Diabli, for sponsoring the show. I also forgot to change this, so make sure this comes up right. Give me 1 second.
Yes, I have.
Mainly because I ran out of time. I had to appeal that. I had to appeal my. Where the hell did it go? Good Lord. I had to appeal the copyright. It wasn't. I don't even know if it was a strike. They did take down my stream, and that pisses me off. So, you don't take down Daddy's stream. What the hell are you doing? All right. There we go. There's the one I need. Copy link. There. So you won't get an incorrect notification from Johnny Boomercheck. So Johnny, I fixed it. You can start sending that one now. All right. What else is here? Oh, in that article that I was reading. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is the guy. He was interviewed by some news station, and he lied to the news station with the hands up, don't shoot lie. Now, official investigation, local, federal, and everything in between told a different story. Multiple witness statements were inconsistent or flat out false, while law enforcement found that corroborating accounts siding with Wilson were credible. Forensic evidence was undeniable. Brown had assaulted Wilson, lunged for his weapon, and forced the officer to defend his own life. Johnson's story was pure invention, yet the damage was already done. Even the Department of Justice under Eric Holder, no friend of law enforcement, had to admit the facts didn't back the narrative. 3 autopsies confirmed Brown had attacked Wilson's. Prosecutors Robert McCullough later explained that many witnesses weren't telling the truth, confirming what was evident to anyone who cared about the facts over feelings. But the truth didn't matter to activists or their media allies. And there's more to the article, but it's pretty simple what happened after that. It became an entire movement. Cities, every time an unarmed black person was shot, it just descended into more hell, even when the shootings were justified. So thus the precursor to the Summer of Love, by all and hands up, don't shoot was the theme of every single one of them. So there you go. Let's talk about the picture. That picture up there, the note. We heard about this from the Wall Street Journal a couple weeks ago, maybe? I don't know. And here's how Grok is summarizing this thing about the note. And here it is. Trump denies forged Epstein birthday note. Now, that's interesting that Grok pulled it out that way. Grok is hearing a lot of people saying it's forgery. As Democrats push for truth. Okay, so Trump is saying it's forged. Democrats saying it's authentic, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it. House Democrats on the Oversight Committee released a purported 2003 birthday note from President Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein, featuring a typed message with lewd undertones about a wonderful secret they shared. Part of Epstein's birthday book, the document has ignited denials from Trump, who calls it a fake and demands for full disclosure of Epstein files. That's interesting. I didn't know. Well, okay. This escalation highlights the ongoing scrutiny of Trump's ties to the convicted sex offender amid bipartisan calls for transparency. Now, there's a couple things I want to note about the note. When the note itself is purported to have happened in 2003, which is the year before Donald Trump kicked Epstein to the curb and provided testimony or whatever to some of the victims' lawyers and helped have his first conviction down in Florida. So it was prior to that, when Trump was still friends with Epstein. Apparently this was something from Epstein's 50th birthday or something like that. In theory, right? Now, if you can't read that on the screen up there, here is the note. We'll go full screen on this one. Here's the note that purportedly came from Donald Trump to Epstein. Now, it's weird for many reasons. That Donald Trump would take the time to type this out. I don't know if Trump does that. If Trump did make that letter, his proportions are all off. Yeah. So anyway, so apparently it's the body of now people are interpreting this as body of the female with his signature as the pubic hair, right? That's what they're trying to. They're doing everything they can to make this sound right. But let me just read this weird note, and I'll probably get a copyright strike for this too. I'm just kidding. So at the top it says voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald. And then it says, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I share, or wait, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it, Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, this is like a script. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Donald J. Trump, and he signs it Donald. Okay? Now, hello, GDSOB. And, the Pope's in the house. Where, Pope, did you have an inspiring message somewhere up here? Did I miss it? Am I failing? Yes. Oh, thank you. By the way, here we go. Pope Tyrannus III, the Blessed Lich, with a daily message of hope. Blessings of the Holy Ghost. Yesterday you were one way, today you are another. Remember, we can start over as long as we strive to change. Yes, that is a very insightful message. Also, good morning, Lord Stanhope and Tyler F. Welcome to the show. And Septus Wolf. And Renee Mayette. Okay, lots of people are showing up. GDSOB. I think I got everybody. Evan S. Yes, okay, there we go. All right, and Avocado Sally, another small bull in the tip jar. Thank you for sponsoring the show again. Another 223. Avocado Sally says, that picture actually looks more like some sort of weird alien face. Maybe they both knew something about aliens. We don't. And that was the secret. That could be. It does look like an alien face now that I'm looking at it. Oh, how about that? So anyway, there are people getting really excited about this note and claiming that this is more proof that Donald Trump was doing some secret shit with Epstein. Remember, they were friends until 2004. And I'm looking at the note, and some say, or there's a, now here's, by the way, did you catch the reference? Did you catch the reference in the name of this stream? Did you catch it? Anybody? Did anybody catch it? I'll just wait. No. Remember the Air National Guard letters that Dan Rather presented to the world as totally true and authentic. That turned out to be bullshit. Now I'm not claiming or denying that this could or could not be bullshit. Right? Wait, Marty, just because you can remember the abacus doesn't mean we remember cassette tapes. Bitch, please. I could never use an abacus. I just never understood how this worked. Anyway, so there's a lot of commentary on this, and a lot of lefties are just so excited. So, for example, JoJo from Jers, this whatever. She says, so hold on, we're supposed to believe that the Democrats forged Trump's birthday drawing on Epstein's 22 years ago, put it in a leather binder, and had it seized during his first term so they could bring it out after he won a re-election for his second term. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't know that anybody's claiming that. I think the only claim is that the person who got this from the Wall Street Journal, that this was a forgery. They're saying it's for. But here's my take. Whether it's real or not, does it change the fact that Trump turned Epstein in, kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, banned him from life from there, helped his prosecution? Now, there's also that little slip of the tongue by Mike Johnson, which I don't know what he meant when he said that Donald Trump possibly was an FBI informant on Epstein. I don't know about that. I know that Donald Trump did help the victims' lawyers and was the only person that came in and voluntarily testified and gave them information about Epstein. And again, that was after this purported letter happened. Is this just a childish letter that Donald Trump made and whatever? But here's my other part too. I don't know if there's any other example that I can think of ever of Donald Trump typing something out. Now there may be, I don't know. It just seems weird because the fact that this would be typed out and signed at the bottom and then hand-drawn body on it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Many don't care about that. They just used to be until they find out the truth. They'll use it as a play on his integrity. Yeah. Anyway, J.D. Vance, by the way, had a couple people have chimed in on this. J.D. Vance says, forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullshit. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is the letter? Let's see, where is it? Where is the letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing? Does anybody honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? And that's the thing. The wording of the letter sounds so weird too. That he's writing out a script as a birthday note. I don't get it. There's a lot of things that are weird about it, but I don't know. And I still say, even if it is real, what exactly does it mean? What does it prove? That they were still friends in 2003 before he kicked him to the curb in 2004? But you know what? The association with Epstein does not look good for Donald Trump. And now there is apparently one victim who's claiming, because remember, up until now, all the victims regarding the Epstein case, not a single one had ever implicated Donald Trump, right? But now all of a sudden there's one victim who's out there saying, well, there was one time that Jeffrey Epstein brought me into a room and Donald Trump was there and Donald Trump groped me while he was standing watching. There's one that's saying that. Now, prior to this, in fact, the MSNBC had a panel of the victims and tried to ask, one of the first questions they asked was, did you ever see Donald Trump do anything bad? Did Donald Trump ever do anything bad to you? Did you ever see Donald Trump? Did you see Donald Trump do it? And all of them are like, no. So, is there any significance to this story other than, yes, Donald Trump associated with Jeffrey Epstein? Yeah, we know that. We've seen pictures of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. We saw a video of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein at a party. Donald Trump's never denied that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein at one time. Until 2004, when he removed Jeffrey Epstein from his club and his life and testified against him. So, but lots of people, again, Vance, Democrats don't care about Epstein. They don't even care about his victims. That's why they were silent about it for years. The only thing they care about is concocting another fake scandal like Russiagate to smear President Donald Trump with lies. No one's falling for this BS. Democrats, found the letter for you, saying that this was it. This is the Democrats, okay? So they're jumping all over this. In a normal country, a president having this sort of relationship with the most famous child sex trafficker of our time would bring the government to his knees. Oversight Dems. Here it is. We've got Trump's birthday note to Jeffrey Epstein that the president said doesn't exist. Trump talks about a wonderful secret the two of them shared. What is he hiding? Release the files. Okay. I'm still up for release the files.
Yes, please.
So anyway, so that's the story. That's the big story today that you're going to be hearing everyone talking about and being all excited about. And in fact, here's the story in Legal Insurrection. Epstein Estate gives oversight documents, including birthday book. Wall Street Journal reported the book and letter in July. Trump sued for the publication for at least $10 billion. Jeffrey Epstein's estate has turned over documents to the House Oversight Committee, including the infamous birthday book from 2003, which was given to him for his 50th birthday. Apparently, it contains a crude letter from President Donald Trump. Now, was that letter crude? Was that letter crude in any way? Don't even know what the fuck it means, honestly. But again, prior to their ending the friendship, lawyers Jeffrey Epstein have given Congress a copy of the birthday book. A copy? Wait a minute, a copy of the birthday book? Not the actual birthday book? Lawyers for Jeffrey Epstein's estate have given Congress a copy of the birthday book put together for the financier's 50th birthday, which includes a letter from with Trump's signature that he said doesn't exist. Can anyone compare Trump's signatures? I think we need to compare his signature from the other pieces he signed in 2003 and his current signature. So there's a lot of people doing that too, and some of them look the same, some of them look different. There's different pen style strokes, but it looks fairly similar. But again, if it's forged or if it's a copy, copy? Why is it a copy of the letter, not the actual letter? So we'll see. That's developing as far as I'm concerned. Other things in the news, Banksy, the artist, exposes judicial overreach in London courts. On September 8th, street artist Banksy unveiled a provocative mural on London's Royal Courts of Justice depicting a judge striking an unarmed protester with a gavel, symbolizing judicial overreach and the suppression of dissent amid UK crackdowns on protests. The artwork linked to arrest of pro-Palestinian activists was quickly covered by authorities, sparking widespread outrage. So he put Banksy, he's a kind of famous street artist who puts out little statements. So he put this out there. I'm surprised he doesn't do one with the courts hammering a guy tweeting or something, putting posts on social media. Because, that's a problem over there in the UK, too. So it's a big story, apparently, because it's trending heavily. Moving on. Also, at Texas A&M, speaking of censorship and outright, well, they call us fascists, but Texas A&M University, a student was removed from a children's literature class after objecting to lessons on transgender topics, citing religious beliefs and a Trump executive order. The incident, captured in viral video shared by Texas State Representative Brian Harrison, triggered widespread backlash. Okay, this is, again, a rock summary. Now, apparently, this was... all of these say this went wrong. Let's see if let's retry this again. It looks like some of these have been taken down by X. What the fuck? Student lives at TikTok. What the fuck? Student at Texas A&M kicked out of class by woke professor after she objected to a lesson on transgenderism, stating that it violates Trump executive order and violates her religious beliefs. Let's see. Here's I wonder if this is gonna get.
Remarks on gender and sexuality moving from last class. What did we do get to in our last class?
I just have a question because I'm not entirely sure this is legal to be teaching. Because according to our president, there's only 2 genders, and he said that he would be freezing agencies' funding programs that promote gender ideology. And this also very much goes against not only myself, but a lot of people's religious beliefs.
Okay, first of all, if she's in the class and she objects to it, first of all, Texas A&M is not a state university, or is it? Is Texas A&M State University? Maybe it is. I thought it was. Isn't that the military one? She can teach about it. Yeah, she promoted. I don't. If she got, first of all, she got kicked out of the class for asking this question, though. Let's finish.
And so I am not going to participate in this because it's not legal, and I don't want to
it's legal.
promote something that is against our president's laws as well as against my religious beliefs. Yes.
You are under any misconception that what I have
Can you explain
Which is
to me
true. I don't know that it's illegal. That's weird.
how teaching us about gender identity and transgenderism and that there's more sexes than
Gender isn't illegal.
Huh?
Like, gender isn't illegal.
Gender? What do you mean? Your gender is not illegal. According to President Trump's executive order, if you want me to read the paragraph in the order itself.
It's not enough. If you are uncomfortable in this class, you do have the right to leave.
Yes.
What we are doing is not illegal. And if you love to...
Here, look, I'm going to side with the professor on this. As much as objectionable it is maybe to this girl, it's not illegal for this teacher to teach it, I don't think. That's weird. Why are people jumping all over this? I think they're jumping all over because of the framing of the people talking about it. Now,
well, I've already been in contact with the president of A&M, and I actually have a meeting with him in person to show all of my documentation tomorrow, but...
You're also aware, and this is part of why it was an observer class.
Yes.
I'm not convinced that your proposal will be effective in stopping the teaching things that are biologically true. Because I do have the legal and ethical authority, legal and professional expertise in this classroom.
Okay. Yeah, no, I am.
okay. I think she gave her the option to leave. I don't know that she got kicked out of class, but here's how it's being framed on X. Breaking, Texas A&M student was kicked out of class for voicing religious objection to a lesson about transgender and saying it's not legal and I don't want to promote something against my religious beliefs. Texas State Representative Brian Harrison is now referring to Texas A&M to the Trump administration for investigation and is calling on Greg Abbott to fire the officials involved. It's time for you to leave, which is what the teacher said, but she said if you want to leave. I don't think she forced you to leave, but anyway, this is absolutely unbelievable that the president of the school is defending the teacher. I gotta be honest. There's they made way more of a production out of their objection than they needed to. Yeah, I agree with that too. There's too much. I mean, let's see. Now, first draft. Here's what Texas A&M says. A statement from the office of Chancellor Glenn Hegar, something like that. It is unacceptable for A&M system faculty to push a personal political agenda. We have been tasked with training the next generation of teachers and child care professionals. That responsibility should prioritize protecting children, not engaging in indoctrination. Today I was made aware of video recordings as well as instructional materials which are irreconcilable with the values of the Texas A&M University system. Earlier investigations appear to indicate that the professor who taught this course failed to comply with clear instructions to align course descriptions with course materials. Further findings revealed that this failure continues to be an issue with this professor. I will work with the Board of Regents to make certain that the A&M system takes disciplinary action necessary to ensure this does not happen again with one of our campuses. I'm a little torn on this, but let's see. Texas A&M student ejected over religious objection to gender curriculum. This is going to be an interesting one. Here's Brian Harrison, the representative from Daily Wire. The Department of Justice said Monday that it would probe deeply concerning videos of a Texas A&M student being asked to leave class after pushing back on radical gender theory. The video obtained and shared by Texas State Representative Brian Harrison and first reported to the Daily Wire show a student confronting Dr. Melissa McCool during a children's literature class after McCool pushed leftist views on sex and gender. In one clip, the student told McCool that the course material went against President Donald Trump's order on gender and diversity, equity, and inclusion. This also goes against not only myself, but a lot of people's religious beliefs, blah, 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 blah. Well, we saw what happened here. The children's literature class devoted considerable attention to sex, gender, and queerness, according to the slides reviewed by the Daily Wire. So why? Okay, so this is a course on children's literature. Okay? And if I were taking this class, I'm like, wait, why is everything in this class about gender and queerness and whatever? If it's about children's literature. It makes no fucking sense. One slide argued that it's appropriate to teach LGBTQ issues to young children, stating thinking that homosexuality or queer people are always X-rated is an effect of heteronormativity. The idea of that heterosexual or straight is normal as well as normative. No, wait. Okay, wait. Heterosexual is normal because it's the natural function of reproduction in all mammals and most animals, period. So heteronormative is normal, and homosexuality, I hate to call it abnormal, but it's not the norm. The norm is the vast majority of the people are the norm, and anything that deviates from that norm is the not norm. I'm not judging whether the not norm is bad or good by saying that. It's not the norm. I don't care what people do, but it's not the norm. That's why they call themselves even queer. It's abnormal. It's not normal. And that's not a judgment. That's just, if you're saying that saying something's abnormal is a judgment, it's not. Green grass is normal. Yellow or brown or pink grass would be abnormal. Doesn't mean that if you want to paint your grass pink that I give a shit. It's just that green grass is normal. That's not a judgment. If I said pink grass is weird, then I'd be saying that's a judgment. Because weird is a judgment. But abnormal is just being, okay, how'd you get pink grass? It's pink. It's abnormal. It's okay. If you like it, I think it's weird. Oh, that's a judgment. So anyway, holy shit. I'm gonna put this particular post as a separate link today, so you can have the whole thing. But yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on in higher education these days. Qatar is trending. Apparently, Israel took out some Hamas people in Qatar. Wait, that's not Qatar. This is which may cause issues. They blew up some Hamas people in Qatar, and that's why Doha is also trending. Now, by the way, Khaled Marshall is suspected to be among the casualties in Doha, Qatar. If you can't see what I'm looking at, they have a picture of George Clooney as one of the suspected casualties in Doha, so that's funny. Anyway, I got a bunch of other articles, and the Supreme Court's trending. I want to talk about the Supreme Court. I wish I had more time. There's a whole bunch of stuff here regarding some Supreme Court decisions, but I don't have time. Thank you, Avocados Diabli, who says, I have forsaken the animal kingdom. I am throwing my lot in with the fungi kingdom now. To them, the biggest issue is to spore or not to spore. Thank you, Avocados Diabli. That is beautiful. And there you go. Oh, wait. That is a hell of a beard, though. That George Clooney's beard is looking mighty fine there, isn't it? That's a nice beard. All right, guys. I wish I had been here on time today, but I wasn't. So, unfortunately, I have to truncate the length of this show. But as always, I'm going to put links in the description of what I was supposed to talk about. And before I do that, before I actually consider leaving, I'm going to say thank you, Ty Alexander, for sponsoring the show. Oh, by the way, what the hell is that? By the way, Avocados Diabli, you are the new Street Lab Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. And Tyre dropping a tray in the tip jar saying, I long for the day that sex isn't everywhere. I don't want kids learning about sex outside of teaching boys how to regulate their strength when dealing with the fair sex. Fuck this shit. Yeah, it's getting out of hand. Appreciate you, Tyre. All right, I wish I had more time, but I don't. So here's today's links. Here are the links. Oops, I need an I in that links. For today's show, they'll also be in the description. Thanks for your patience on me being so late. Also, thanks for the donations, Tyre and Advocate Stalby. Thanks for joining the chat, everybody. If I missed you, I apologize. I see TC's in the house. I missed him. But that's it. I gotta go. Thanks. My name is P Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thanks for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.
Use that. And look over. No, we not take a nap, man. Okay, so the reason why I had to do that is because I need to, it freaking put me into the next one automatically. Fucking thing. Okay. No, fucking that thing. It's so good it's so much. No. It's fun. Alright. I'm gonna have to message him around. Ah! Mama! You can click on the typing part. That's me, I had a thing on that I think that I got you. I understand. Don't worry, I remember you. have the comments down here. I know I need to look up there, and then I'm working on other stuff over here. I know. My brain's like everywhere. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even know Tracy followed me. Oh. Happy Tomato Tuesday. Stop not both nations. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, well, I don't know what I was going to do. Hopefully you guys can. Alright. Back, please. Or are we done with Plants Against the Can hear you. Okay, so.
What did I do now? You know you did.
I'm on X. Sir, I'm on X.
What is with you calling everyone sir and ma'am now?
I'm being a smart ass. No. I'm gonna need to watch this in a minute. Because, not allowed on here. Not on. Here, let's go. Happy Tomato Tuesday.
Yeah, looks like strawberry. How does it look like strawberry? Brown.
Look at the color again. Mix between the two. Okay.
Okay, strawberry chop. You said chocolate.
It's strawberry and chocolate. It's a nice. Goes to show how much you're paying attention today.
I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Excuses.
Not excuses.
Excuses are like buttholes everybody has in their marriage, you have to.
Yeah, and I'm married. I just can't believe that Rolf changed his username to Monko's husband.
It was creepy.
That looks funny.
That was creepy.
Funny.
Anyway, it was gone. Okay. Republican Representative Randy Fine is calling for judges to face consequences and violent repeat offenders they release go on to commit new crimes. I agree. If the judges are releasing these illegal immigrants or any criminal, giving them a free pass, and they go commit the same offense or the same type of offense, that judge should be held accountable. What do you guys think? What do you think?
I honestly have no idea.
So, for instance, young lady, focus. So, for instance, a rapist, right? He raped and murdered someone. He went in front of the judge, but for whatever reason, the judge just let them go. It's not a constitutional thing. Like, they had all the information, they had everything they needed to convict him, but the judge just let him go. And then he goes and does it again. Do you think that judge should be charged right along with the criminal?
Yes.
There you go. All right, so I'm not believing. Yeah, we have an article. Oh, absolutely. No, we just went through. No, we okay. Okay. I'm trying to find this. On how certain gestures or that's not what we think. There's a couple of them. I have not seen it. We all are going to. Yeah.
What if one of the most offensive...
Monday. Here we go. It's a short video.
What if one of the most offensive gestures in the modern world has roots buried deep in medieval warfare, linguistic confusion, and ancient archery? Today, we begin unraveling the bizarre and unexpected journey of a single finger, one that has insulted kings, started bar fights, and confused historians for generations. Welcome to The Past Unfolded. Let's begin in the muddy fields of the 15th century France, specifically the Battle of Agincourt in 1415. The 100 Years' War had already already dragged on for decades. On October the 25th, St. Crispin's Day, one of the most lopsided and legendary battles in English history was about to unfold. Facing a much larger French army, the English, led by King Henry V, were vastly outnumbered and exhausted, but they had one deadly secret weapon, the English longbow. Unlike the shorter bows of other European armies, the longbow had terrifying range and power. It could pierce armor from hundreds of feet away. But here's where it gets interesting. To properly draw this mighty weapon, archers needed full use of their middle finger. According to popular legend, the French, anticipating an easy victory, planned to cut off the middle fingers of captured English archers. Why? Because without that finger, they'd be useless in future battles, incapable of pulling the bowstring back to fire. But fate had other plans. Against all odds, the English archers rained down a storm of arrows. The muddy battlefield, narrow terrain, and poor French planning played right into their hands. By the end of the day, thousands of French knights lay dead or captured. The English had won decisively. And here's where it gets cheeky. The victorious English archers, still in possession of their middle fingers, reportedly raised them in the air toward the defeated French, taunting them with the phrase, "See, we can still pluck you." Sounds innocent enough, but not quite. The phrase had a double meaning. The English longbow was traditionally made from the yew tree, a strong and flexible wood. Drawing the bow was often referred to as plucking the yew, but when said quickly, with a thick English accent and a touch of sarcasm, pluck yew begins to sound rather familiar. Add to that the visual of a single raised finger, you've got yourself the origin of a modern insult, according to the story. But here's the twist. Is it true? Many historians now believe this story, though popular, is more myth than fact. There are no primary sources from 1415 that mention the middle finger being cut off. The phrase pluck yew is suspiciously convenient, and the connection between archers and obscene gestures, that likely came much later. But does it matter? Legends often outlive the facts, and sometimes the story itself tells us more about human nature than cold, hard evidence. From ancient battlefields to modern highways, the middle finger has survived as a symbol of rebellion, sarcasm, and disrespect. Its roots, real or imagined, are tangled in war, wood, language, and humor. You'll be surprised to learn just how old this gesture really is. Thanks for watching The Past Unfolded. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for Part 2, where history gets even more unfiltered. Because sometimes the past isn't just dusty dates and dead kings. It's alive, it's cheeky, and it might just flip you off. Before it became a battlefield insult in medieval Europe, before archers supposedly waved it at the French, the middle finger was already making waves in ancient civilizations. In today's episode, we travel far beyond the fields of Agincourt to the marble streets of Athens and the Colosseums of Rome to uncover the ancient origins of the world's most notorious hand gesture. Ancient roots, Greece, Rome, and the first offense. Long before Shakespeare, Henry V, or even the yew tree, ancient Greeks were using the middle finger as an obscene symbol, but its meaning far more graphic than modern times. In classical Greece, the gesture was known as katapagon, and it wasn't just rude, it was vulgar. To the Greeks, the extended middle finger represented a phallus, and the curled fingers on either side, testicles. In their culture, this wasn't just a playful insult. It was often used to call someone submissive, effeminate, or even accuse them of being sexually receptive in a derogatory way, especially in public debates or theatrical plays. Yes, even in ancient Greek comedies, the middle finger made regular appearances, used to insult characters or provoke laughter from the crowd. Take, for example, the ancient playwright Aristophanes, one of the earliest recorders of this gesture. In his play, The Clouds, a character named Strepsiades uses the gesture in a confrontation, showing us how long this symbol has been used to humiliate and provoke. So next time someone flips you off, remember, it's basically a 2,500-year-old comedy routine. Now let's move to Rome, where things got even more intense. The Romans referred to the gesture as the digitus imputicus, or the impudent finger. Just like the Greeks, it symbolized male genitalia. But in Rome, it was also weaponized socially and politically. In Roman society, the middle finger could be used in legal disputes, debates, or street-level arguments. It wasn't just rude, it was symbolic mockery. The digitus imputicus was essentially saying, "You're beneath me," in the crudest way possible. There's even documentation imitation of Roman soldiers using the gesture to insult enemy prisoners or slaves. And guess what? The gesture wasn't always silent. Often, it came with obscene phrases, sort of an ancient version of F-you. What's fascinating is that while the middle finger evolved across cultures, the core idea remained unchanged. It was a physical act of defiance, dominance, and rebellion. In Japan, insulting gestures tend to focus more on facial expressions. In India, a common insult involves biting the thumb. In Italy and Greece, the muzza, open palm toward the face, is a brutal slap in gesture form. Yet, the middle finger somehow transcended continents. Why is this one gesture so powerful, so simple, yet instantly understood? Maybe it's because gestures came before language. Before we could curse with words, we cursed with our hands. And the middle finger, it became the perfect expression of primal frustration. Over the centuries, cultures changed, empires fell, and yet the symbol remained. The Greeks gave it meaning. The Romans gave it a name. And later civilizations, they gave it attitude. We'll look at how the church, nobility, and even artists of the Renaissance tried to ban the bird, but couldn't stop what had already taken root centuries earlier. Because if history teaches us anything, it's this. You can ban the books, silence the words, but try to stop a hand gesture? Good luck. It had survived ancient Greece and Rome. It had echoed across battlefields in medieval England. But in the rise of Christian Europe, the middle finger faced its greatest threat yet. Not from war, but from morality. In this chapter of The Past Unfolded, we dive into a time when obscene gestures were no laughing matter. The church versus the finger. When faith met fury. The early Middle Ages were defined by the dominance of the church. From kings to peasants, Christian doctrine shaped every aspect of life, including behavior, speech, and yes, gestures. The church was deeply invested in controlling not only what people said, but how they expressed themselves. Obscenity was no longer just impolite, it was sinful, and gestures like the middle finger were seen as demonic, vulgar, and dangerous. Clergymen wrote of digitus imputicus as a corrupt act, one tied to lust, pride, and defiance. To show it was to defy the moral order. To receive it was to be spiritually insulted. In some parts of Europe, individuals could be fined, punished, or even excommunicated for repeated use of obscene gestures. These weren't minor slaps on the wrist. Morality courts took these acts seriously. The church saw the body as a temple, and the hand as an instrument of righteous labor, not rebellion. But with rising turmoil, plague, poverty, and war, many people grew disillusioned. When the Black Death swept across Europe in the 14th century, killing millions, it shattered the belief in divine protection, and with fear came frustration. The middle finger returned, not just as a vulgar joke, but a silent form of protest, a non-verbal rebellion. In crowded streets and shadowed corners, people began expressing their anger not with words, but with defiant hands. Of course, they couldn't shout back, they couldn't write or preach, but they could raise one finger and let it speak volumes. As Europe entered the Renaissance, ideas about censorship and expression began to change. Art flourished, science bloomed, and human emotion was finally allowed a voice again, at least for the elite. Hidden in the brushstrokes of many paintings, sculptures, and plays were subtle acts of defiance. Some art historians suggest that even in high art, vulgar hand gestures made secret appearances. Some researchers believe Michelangelo included a hidden middle finger in the Sistine Chapel's Last Judgment, a possible insult to a cardinal who criticized his work. Whether true or not, it shows that the middle finger never truly died. It just hid in plain sight. By the 15th century, Gutenberg's invention of the printing press allowed ideas, including crude jokes, to spread like wildfire. Satirical pamphlets and underground literature mocked authority using visual humor, including hand gestures. While the church still condemned obscene behavior, the people were no longer as compliant. The finger, raised in silence, became a tool for satire. Fast forward 600 years, and we still see echoes of this. In today's digital age, certain platforms ban obscene gestures in emojis, photos, and live videos. The morality police may look different, but the fight remains the same. Control the gesture, control the expression. The middle finger has been a phallus in Greece, a curse in Rome, a protest in the church's shadow, and a joke in the hands of artists. It has survived empires, religions, and censors. Because some gestures are bigger than history, the middle finger had survived centuries of censorship, religious condemnation, and underground rebellion. But as the world changed. With revolutions, empires crumbling, and entire nations rising, a new chapter began. Let's begin in the 1800s, a time known for its strict morality, at least on the surface. In the Victorian world, especially in England and the US, society prized etiquette, modesty, and self-control. This meant the middle finger, like all crude gestures, was shoved back into the shadows. But suppression doesn't equal disappearance. Instead of fading away, the gesture went underground, a weapon of mockery in back alleys, factories, and bars. It wasn't gone, it was simply waiting. The United States, rising as an industrial and cultural superpower, provided the perfect stage for the gesture's comeback. One of the earliest photographs of someone giving the middle finger dates back to 1886, a player named Charles Radbourne flipping the bird in a team photo. Right there, in black and white, America's favorite pastime got its first taste of public profanity, and just like that, the middle finger went from myth to memory to modern icon, caught on film. As waves of immigrants arrived in the US, so did their own cultural variations of obscene gestures, but somehow, the raised middle finger became a shared language, used by the oppressed to resist, by the angry to fight back, and by the bold to stand out. The middle finger said, "I'm not afraid of you, I reject your control, I won't play by your rules." But what truly launched the finger into global stardom? Hollywood, rock music, television. Suddenly, the finger wasn't just rebellion, it was cool. From Johnny Cash's legendary photo flipping the bird at the camera during a prison performance, to rock bands like the Rolling Stones and Metallica using it as part of their stage presence, to actors, comedians, and late-night hosts pushing boundaries live on air. The finger had arrived. Television networks tried to blur it. Censors tried to bleep it. Parents warned about it. But the more they tried to erase it, the more the gesture grew in power. Because now, it wasn't just rebellion, it was recognition. From hip-hop albums, to protest signs, to graffiti across urban walls, the finger became a symbol of freedom of speech, anti-establishment thinking, raw human emotion. Even politicians couldn't escape it. Caught on camera, off stage, or mid-protest. World leaders and lawmakers occasionally found themselves flipping or being flipped off. Sometimes it was deliberate, other times accidental, always viral. And with the rise of social media, the gesture became more global than ever. Memes, GIFs, stickers, emojis, one finger, billions of screens, endless interpretations. From New York to New Delhi, London to Lagos, the middle finger may differ in cultural tone, but its message, unmistakable. In some countries, it's illegal. In others, it's normalized. But everywhere, it provokes. From ancient phallic insult to battlefield taunt to symbol of street rebellion, the middle finger is more than just a rude gesture. It's a mirror. It reflects power, anger, resistance, and often humor. Where we ask, can a gesture survive in a world ruled by algorithms? We've followed the middle finger across centuries of war, religion, rebellion, and fame. But now, we arrive in a world unlike any before, one that's faster, louder, more connected, and more easily offended. Welcome to the 21st century, where the middle finger is no longer just a gesture, it's a meme, an emoji, a brand, and sometimes a crime. Finger in the digital age. Memes, emojis, and cancel culture. Back in the early days of the internet, there were no filters, no content flags, no warnings. It was chaos, and the middle finger, right at home. ASCII art, crude animations, email gifs, it became one of the first symbols of
everything. And so that is how the bird originated. What were we talking about yesterday when I was talking to you about the bird? Flipping the bird. Do you remember? Okay. Mm. We're gonna show what the picture is. All right. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution prevents Congress from making laws respecting and yeah, I know that. That's not the First Amendment, Amendment 1 to the United States Constitution prevents Congress from making laws respecting an establishment of religion, prohibiting the freedom or the free exercise of religion, or abridging the freedom of speech. What is the freedom of speech? Right, it's your right to say whatever you want. It is a verbal contract, not contract. It's a verbal communication. What is the only time that your speech can be used against you? Well, yeah. If you are using it to commit a crime. So if you are using it to incite violence, then they can go against you. But if you're just going like this, look at freedom of speech. So you can Flipping the Bird had a completely different original stance on it. But so your question on if you're allowed to flip the bird or not, young lady, what do you think my answer is? No. Thank you. um the freedom of press. What is the freedom of press? Yeah. Think about it. What is the press? Are you even trying? Or not? Come on, yeah. I have into, as long as you have business at the place. It includes going into courthouse and getting your documents, doing your research, and then leaving. It does not mean that you're slave. Annoy the hell out of people. That's just easier. Yeah, you can do it. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have that right to. Which is rude. Right. You want to be respectful. I myself do recording. As you guys know, when I go to the store, what the heck is Wolf here?
Oh no, it's not this. Not this at all. This was actually like that. So.
What?
This is what me and Inky were talking about last night.
Oh, dear Lord. I don't want to know. Anyway.
It's nothing inappropriate, I swear on my life. I asked him a question.
Okay.
And the answer he gave me made me geek out. Anytime like I'm really sleepy or something, I just think of that and I'm immediately awake.
Okay.
I asked him how long he got a crush on me for.
Not the right time, speaking.
Okay, at least now you don't go far.
I just hate eating.
Oh. And he won't be able to come into the live either.
No.
Because he's hanging out with me home today till like 4 something. And then he's going home and me and him are gonna be hopping on PlayStation together.
Okay. Okay, guys and girls, we are actually gonna go on a quick lunch. We will be back at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us. So thank you guys for joining us. We hope you like what you see. Don't forget, if you feel like what you see, please subscribe, click that little bell, and smash the like button. And always remember, no matter what life throws at you, no matter what crazy curveball is thrown your way,
Or parent.
or child,
At the end of
the rainy day is the rainbow. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Later.